Hey, it's Rav. Welcome to the Everyday Investor TV show, the show that teaches all of us how to grow our money. Each week, we bring in an everyday expert to teach us, everyday people, a different strategy. Remember, whenever you're offered any type of investment opportunity, you always want to ask 4 questions. 1, what is the return on investment? 2, when do you get that return along with the money that you put in? 3, what is the minimum investment amount needed? And 4, what is the risk? What is the downside? The reason we do this show is because often the challenge is that we take our precious time, we go to work, we get paid in order to provide. You ask, what's the challenge? Well, if we have a job, we're blessed. I really believe that, but wouldn't it be great if money could make us money? You could take that precious time and you could spend it with family, friends. You could engage in a purpose that's greater than yourself, still keep your job, have a hybrid of both. Thanks so much for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. On this week's episode, we talk to Ken, and he teaches us how we can make money creating an income suite in our very own home.
When you pull a building permit, and this goes for whatever project that you do, not just a legal second suite. This could be your deck or whatever you decide to build in life. Having that third party check on the work that has been completed is crucial, because without that permit, you're purely just relying on the contractor themselves telling you that they're doing a proper job.
Hey, it's Sarah Larby here. Did you know that if you are selling your home or investment property, one of our preferred agent partners will sell it for you for free? That's right, 0 commissions. Head over to our website, everydayinvestor.com, to find out more.
Hi, Terry Lynn Legault from Canada's Mortgage Choice here. Have you been working with a bank and been denied because of poor credit or no credit history at all, and you're looking to get into a mortgage now but having those issues? Did you know that there's alternative lenders that will look at those scenarios differently? And if you have been building to improve that credit and been saving some money on the side, that we may be able to get you into a mortgage now. It may mean that you pay a higher interest rate for a shorter term, but we can still help. If this is setting home with you and you are looking for that alternative lender, contact us today at Canada's Mortgage Choice.
Hey, it's Rav. A few years ago, I learned how to trade stock options by taking the Theta trading course. My son, my friends, myself, all of us benefited immensely by applying their strategies, and I want you to have that same benefit by taking their course as well. I'm not receiving any monetary benefit whatsoever by telling you this. It's just that, as you know, I believe that knowledge mitigates risk. Visit their site to find out more. Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to the Everyday Investor TV show. I'm talking to my good friend, Ken. Ken, thanks so much for being on the show with me.
Yeah, Rav, it's great to be back and to be able to talk to your audience.
Yeah, listen, I have a good friend, Scott McGilvery, and way back when he had a show called Income Property, and it was really just basically generating income from your principal residence. I've never known anyone that really niches in this market except for you. I mean, I think it's really, really great that you take the whole the permitting, the design, the actual construction, and help people generate more income and cash flow within their own residence. I think it's very cool to be able to niche into that.
Yeah, you know what? It's been the last number of years, we've seen a steady increase in demand for these types of units. Basically out of financial need for people to be able to create some income with their own home, but then also because there's just straight up a lack of housing units out there. These just make sense on so many different levels. I've been able to kind of really specialize in this space, in the world of architecture and design and permits. We've really been able to kind of just focus in on this particular type of architecture and permit work. And it's been great. We've been helping literally hundreds and hundreds of homeowners and investors. So it's been a fun number of years.
No, it's fantastic. And I love your branding, legal second suites or from basement to business. Is that what it says behind you? From from basement to,
We have a number of taglines from basement to business, get more out of your home, making your home work for you, all sorts of different ways to approach it.
And how is your son? How's your son doing? How's your farm? How's your alpacas? What's going on there? It's
the farm is doing good. We haven't, knock on wood, we haven't lost any animals lately. When you have a farm, there's always a chance that, an animal may pass away. But, thankfully, we haven't had any deaths around here. Everybody's good, even with the winter. Alpacas, they grow a nice, big, heavy fur coat, so the fleece. So they're toasty warms.
And your son's how old now?
So he's 7. Yeah, he's 7 years old. He's in grade 2. Being a single dad, and also running a business and being an entrepreneur, it's definitely a balance to kind of balance those two. But I have lots of help. He's doing fantastic. Yeah, it's crazy how quick these kids grow up.
Yes, they grow up quickly. And what about does he desire to get in the investment game as well, or is he just too young right now and he's just enjoying his school buddies and the farm?
Yeah, it's interesting seeing, every year his career aspirations seem to change with time. Before he used to want to be a Christmas tree delivery man. Then at some point he wanted to be an engineer. I think as he sees me doing the drawings and the construction and home construction, maybe he'll become a little builder, developer. We'll see. But he loves coloring on my floor plans that I create, adding swimming pools and slides and all the fun stuff. But it's interesting seeing his desire for just the home building industry kind of grow within him. So
Ken, we talk about the traditional kind of basement suite, basement apartment, but it's more than that now. I mean, you're also into, garden suites, laneway homes. There's different options because you nailed it on the head. When we have more demand than supply, we're in business. And, in the greater Toronto area, Hamilton area, Brantford, I mean, we just can't keep up with housing. So are you finding yourself, is the phone ringing off the hook with people with tons of questions?
One thing I found about this particular industry doing second suites, it seems to be, as far as I can tell so far, pretty recession proof. As long as we have a shortage of housing, there's going to be a huge demand for these types of units. And we're doing a lot of new consultations. Right now we're doing about 10 new consultations a week.
Wow.
So about 2 days a week. I'm just on Zoom calls, consulting with clients, discussing opportunities in their homes to be able to add an additional unit or maybe 2 units, or it could be a coach house. We do also help with the lot severances and minor variance applications. But it's all centered around adding units in some form or fashion to their property.
And so what is the process? Because, there's a lot of people, and touch on that too, Ken. There's a lot of people that, they don't go through the legal process, if you will. And, that can be dangerous, right? If you're just kind of, doing a makeshift basement and putting somebody in your basement or, secondary suite or whatever the case. Touch on, your thoughts on not doing it properly, meaning getting a design and getting it permitted and make sure you have a great renovator. I mean, touch on that a little bit.
A bunch of years ago, we weren't able to do what we're doing today. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the proper zoning bylaws in place to allow these legal secondary suites. And so, so there's just a lot of illegal kind of basement apartments out there, or illegal units in some form or fashion, just because we weren't allowed to do them before. But, the province and the municipalities in the last number of years, especially in the last 2 years, have made huge changes to their policies that make it so much easier for us to legalize these spaces and to create legal spaces. And there's so many more, now that it's so much easier from a zoning perspective, there's so many more benefits that come with having it as a legal space. One, obviously the obvious one is just from a straight up, liability perspective, making sure that somebody is living in a safe, it's fire rated properly, it's sound rated properly, that it's a safe unit. We have the proper smoke detectors, and we have the proper egress, window sizes, all that kind of stuff, ceiling heights. So just from a straight up safety perspective, it's super important. But it's also a revenue generating asset. Having a legal income suite in your home, it's a source of revenue, but it's a source of legal income. And that's what is super important about it, that the audience needs to understand. Look, we're all out there trying to qualify for something, whether it's your mortgage, maybe it's a new car, maybe it's something, whatever. We all need to qualify with a lender for something, right? And we all need more legal income to our names. I haven't met a single person in my life who doesn't desire more legal income to their name, right? And having these recognized as a legal space is another source of legal revenue. So just from your financing, from your lending perspective, super, super important, okay? But then also having it legal, it minimizes so many issues with, the city, your neighbors, the tenants themselves, who's ever living in that space themselves. If it's been legally installed and inspected, your neighbors can't complain that you're running an illegal unit. The city can't come knocking on your door, saying, hey, you got an illegal unit. The tenants themselves can't hold you hostage because they found out that they're in an illegal unit. So just having that peace of mind is huge.
No, that's huge. I mean, listen, me and you, we have strong faith in our Creator. And the thing that we ask for most is having peace of mind, right, in life. You mentioned life happens. And so we want to be able to have a good sleep. We want to be able to have peace of mind. We want to have contentment of heart, if you will. It's not Sunday morning. Come visit me some Sunday and hear me preach. But when it comes to even business and money and partnerships, and you want to be able to have the integrity. And so why not do it right? As opposed to wondering, is a neighbor going to call on me? What happens if there's a fire in the place? What's my liability? How much risk am I at? It doesn't take much work, maybe a few dollars more, but the return on investment, you're going to have a greater quality product. I'm going to enjoy living there as a tenant if it's done right.
When you pull a building permit, and this goes for whatever project that you do, not just legal second suite. This could be your deck or whatever you decide to build in life. Having that third party check on the work that has been completed is crucial, because without that permit, you're purely just relying on the contractor themselves telling you that they're doing a proper job and that it's built to the code. But, we know how this industry operates sometimes, and, not everybody's out there doing things how they should be doing them. So having that third party check by the building inspector is crucial to make sure that you've got a good product.
Yeah. And, this can be overwhelming because there's some design work, there's the permitting, it's different in different municipalities, contractor comes in. I mean, what role does Ken play? Does he help me from A to Z? Does he, you talked about how you're having initial Zoom calls. Kind of what is your role in all of this? Is it full coverage in terms of, my brain not hurting, or is there a lot of things that I've got to do on my own?
Yeah, so our job here really is to help make the process easy for you. Look, we're dealing with zoning bylaws, we're dealing with building code. Some of this stuff can be very technical, okay? Technical details and these rules and regulations. And so we come in here as a trusted professional to help you. We basically take on the headache of trying to figure it all out and give you what you're looking for and what you desire, being in compliance with the zoning bylaws and the building code. So, we do the architectural drawings. We do the permit submissions to the municipality. We work with any sort of additional, jurisdictions or additional authorities, such as conservation authorities. different parts of the city, different departments at the city. And it's not just building departments sometimes we work with, it's planning departments, it's development engineering, it could be roads, you name it. Lots of different departments at the city. And so our goal is to make it easy for you, not to get overwhelmed with the process. Because, the big reason why people don't pull permits is because, they just think it's too much work. And this is where we come in and we help you. It's not as bad as people think it is if you know what you're doing. Over the years, we've submitted 800 permit applications to about 40 different municipalities and townships. So after a while, you get a pretty good understanding of the process.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. Listen, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue on this theme and take a look at a few numbers, return on investment, etc. We're talking about my good buddy Ken. We're talking about how we can make money investing in a secondary suite, an income suite, a legal suite. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Sarah Larby here. Did you know that if you are selling your home or investment property, one of our preferred agent partners will sell it for you for free? That's right, 0 commissions. Head over to our website, everydayinvestor.com, to find out more.
Hey, what's going on? This is Kyle here from Kyle Ford Mortgages. On today with my better half, Chelsea. We have a very exciting announcement. You've asked, we've delivered.
We have a really exciting event, so mark your calendars, June 9th to 12th. We have networking, mastermind, some awesome content. We have a pool party, a beach party, a black tie gala. We've got it all, and you can rent your very own cottage or have an awesome room at the Kiwi Motel.
If you're looking for all things real estate, whether it's short-term rentals, long-term rentals, private lending, creative financing, whatever it may be. Not only great content, but great people, good times. You absolutely do not want to miss this. Make sure you check out the link.
Hey everybody, at Everyday Investor, Costas Cavelis is back to bring you the best pre-construction opportunities from First Access Condos. Now, everybody should know Hogs Hollow. It's one of the most prestigious areas in the country for real estate. And it has it that they have not had a brand new condo project in over 20 years. Well, we're gonna put an end to that. We're bringing you YCS, located at the northwest corner of Yonge and York Mills. This 2-tower project is surrounded by golf courses. It is steps to the 401, a stone's throw to Midtown, just south of North York City Center, and it is located in a fantastic area with multi-million-dollar homes. First condo in 20 years. Now, if that's not enough to pique your interest, what if I told you it had direct underground access to the subway and GO? So you have the 401, GO, and the main subway line in Toronto, all at your doorstep. Fantastic opportunity. Don't delay. Coming end of February. First Access Condos, don't be second.
Hey, it's Rob. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. I'm talking to my friend Ken. We're talking about how we can make money investing in a secondary suite, our own principal residence, basement apartment, laneway housing, garden suite. There's so much terminology out there. Ken, thanks so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, Rob, it's great to be here and be able to talk to your audience just about everything that's going on with these legal second suites.
Yeah, no, it's great, and there's definitely a demand for people to find places to live. So when we're looking at, we call it secondary legal suites, but that's just, layman's terms. If I want to build a basement apartment in my home or whatever the case is, 2,000 square foot home, 2,500 square foot home. What are we looking at these days in terms of being able to do this kind of all in? What's my investment amount, if you will?
Yeah, obviously, when it comes to construction, it's all about scope of work and what exactly your particular project requires. But let's take an empty, unfinished basement, okay? Concrete floor, we have exposed joists, we have concrete walls. It's not finished whatsoever. Let's use a typical bungalow. We have 1,000 square foot bungalow. These projects, to get your kitchens, your bathrooms, your mechanical systems done, your plumbing, maybe some windows, egress windows, all your finishing, drywall, paint, flooring, all of that kind of stuff. Let's say right now we're really anywhere between 130,000, 140,000 to kind of completely finish your basement into a legal second suite. Okay. That's kind of really from a high level perspective, okay? Because again, everybody's house is a little bit different. Maybe yours is partially finished. Maybe there's something there that we can work with. But from scratch, you're about 130, 140.
Okay. And this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, 3-bedroom. What is it?
Yeah, it's really like a two-bedroom unit.
Okay,
yeah.
So a 2-bedroom unit. And then depending obviously on the area, what kind of rent can I command? I know it varies, but in the GTA, what am I looking at, from a monthly rent?
Yeah, so the rents can vary, obviously, depending on the particular market that you're in and what part of the city that you're in. But, we're really seeing kind of like a 1-bed, maybe around that kind of 1,800 a month mark. A 2-bed, they're kind of getting over 2,000, 2,100, 2,200. That's kind of where we're seeing them. There's some parts of the province where even for a 2-bedroom basement suite, we're over 2,400 a month. So obviously that depends on the fit and finish too of the particular space.
Yeah, no, but I love this because just like a normal investment property, I don't know if you've got your calculator there, Ken. What's $25,000 divided into 140,000? I take my profit and divide it by my investment amount. What does that spit out? Move the decimal point.
17.8%.
So I'm looking at, on this, by those numbers that I just said, an ROI of close to 18% if my investment amount is 140K, but I'm getting just over $2,000 a month, so my cash flow is 25K. I mean, that's what that spits out. And so this is not like, oh no, this guy's asking for me to, to spend. First of all, we don't use that word spend, it's invest. So we're investing $100,000, $150,000 to be able to make close to 20% annualized returns. And I mean, that's what you've taught me, Ken, is why this is a great asset class. You can have an investment property in your very own home.
You know what? What we're talking about here is basically cash on cash return, and, I have this conversation a lot with people about, okay, I got to spend this much money to kind of get this suite in. It's only going to get me this much per year. It's going to take me like 20 years to pay that off. I'm like, hold on. That's not how we look at this. We look at this as a cash on cash return. If you have $140,000, you have a couple options what you're going to do with it. You could invest it into your basement. You could put it into a mutual fund. You could put it into the stock market. What we're telling you here is that you can put $140,000 into your basement, make a legal second suite, rent it out, average $2,000 a month. You're going to get $24,000 back a year. 24,000 divided by 140,000. That's basically an 18% cash on cash return. Where are you going to see that elsewhere out there? And keep in mind, that's just the cash on cash return portion. What you've also done is you've forced a lot of appreciation into your home because you've made this into an income producing asset now. And so now there's an added component of the forced appreciation, which, forced appreciation, it's hard to put a value on that, but that could be another 10% on top. Before you know it, you're already at 28, 30% return on your money. So this is why so many people do this.
And so when it comes to a contractor, how does that work? So are you helping me? Let's say I know nothing. Are you helping me to source that out? Do you have your own team that does the actual work? I mean, I know you do a lot, all the brain work, design, permits, all that kind of stuff, or at least guide me through it all. But when it actually comes to the, hard hat, construction boots, hammer, nails, who's doing that and how does that work?
Yeah, so obviously, depending on the market, here, like my company, we're based out of Hamilton. Our office is downtown Hamilton. from the permitting side of the business, we're doing projects all over Ontario. We're helping people up in Ottawa. We're helping people all the way down in Windsor, all the way up north to, cottage country. We're helping people with their permitting and their drawings and their approvals. When it comes to the actual construction work, just like many other contractors, we're working locally within our own kind of local market here. So we're really, for the construction, we're not really sending our guys more than maybe an hour radius of Hamilton to complete projects because, after, the guys don't want to be traveling on the road for an hour and a half to get to a project, and nor does a client want to pay for all of that additional travel time. So, for anybody out there considering doing construction, you gotta work with a local contractor to your area because that's going to be the most cost-effective way of doing it.
And so Rav's in Brampton. It's about an hour, but let's just say I have my own contractor that I'm choosing. They would talk to you a little bit, or how does that marriage work? Not that you're their boss per se. I'm the one that contracted them out, but in terms of design and what we need for permits, and would you be able to consult with them?
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm there to basically help support, both the homeowner, but then also the contractor, doing the work. When you're creating a legal second suite in a basement, let's say, it's a little bit different than just finishing your basement as part of a single family home renovation. There's a lot of extra things that we need to do to incorporate into the construction to make it legal. And this is where, I come in and advise and I support, the contractor as much as needed. There's a lot of good, capable contractors out there who've done, a legal basement apartment before, and they know how to do it properly. But there's a lot of contractors out there who just haven't done one yet. And so this is where I really help them out.
No, Ken, this is fantastic stuff. And I love the way you taught me to look at it. Because, the way that I would look at it, and I know Scott in the past with the show income property, which I've been on before, and doing some appraisals back in my real estate brokering days, we would say, you probably want to look at maybe your return on investment being paid off in 3 years. So if I'm making $25,000, a year, and this is way back then, if I'm making $25,000 a year and I want it paid off 3 to 4 years, well, then I can spend $75,000 to $100,000 on my basement apartment, so it'll pay itself off in 3 to 4 years. But what you taught me was, Rav, don't look at it like that. I mean, if you're going to put $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, it's cash on cash return. Where else are you going to find, give or take, 15% annualized returns? So I really, really love that approach, to doing things. Because really, at the end of the day, it's just about numbers, right? It's what we teach the show. The show exists to teach how we can make a great return on our investment.
Yeah, like that's a great way of being able to analyze an investment, one investment to another investment is just a simple metric of cash on cash return. I'm going to put 100K into the stock market. What is that going to generate me every year? And that's a great way of analyzing.
Yeah.
No,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ken, listen, time flies when I'm having fun and being nurtured. Thank you again. Your information's on the screen. If any of you guys are watching and you're interested to learn more about how you can make great returns within your own principal residence, as well as, Ken, I know that I could buy an investment property and the basement needs to be finished, and you can help me do that. So I have an up and down, 2 rents for 1 furnace. I mean, you're in that game as well. It's the same thing, whether it's my own home or an investment property, correct?
Yeah, we work with all sorts of people. Whether it's a homeowner, an investor. We actually work with nonprofits as well, helping create affordable, attainable types of units. There's a number of nonprofits I help support. Look, we're living in a housing crisis. We need more units all across the board. We need as many people out there creating these units, and I'm here to support as many people as I can.
You're awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Much love to your family, and thanks for being on the show with me.
Yeah, thanks, Rav.
And thank you guys at home for watching. Without you, we would not have a show. If you want to get these episodes directly into your inbox, go to everydayinvestor.com and sign up. Until then, we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Honey, I love you. I'll be home soon. God bless everyone.